Have you ever been in hot water when it comes to supersizing your business? Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. And our idiom today is in hot water, along with my teacup and my teapot. Normally, the only hot water I want to be in is a hot shower, a hot bubble bath, or drinking a hot, warm beverage, tea, coffee, whatever is my beverage of choice. This idiom's actually been around since the 1500s, so it's much older than I thought it was. It comes from a time when people used water and hot water to cook things. And if you spilt hot water or you spilt the food, usually you were in trouble. And over time, it came to mean being in trouble, usually due to some decision or something that you said or did, is what it means. If you say you're in hot water, it's usually something that you did or said or made a mistake that caused you to find yourself in a problem. Now, sometimes we find ourselves in hot water and it's got nothing to do with something we've done. It's got something to do with something other people have done, or maybe a law has changed or a guideline or a rule or a regulation. I've been involved in a lot of businesses that are highly regulated by, of course, our government here in the United States. USDA, OSHA, the FDA, Departments of Agriculture, departments of finance, both on the state and federal level, all of them, the IRS, everybody's got their fingers in your business a lot of the time. So it's easy for laws and things to change and us to not be aware of them. That's why we hire attorneys and accountants and experts in different areas to keep us on top of things so that we don't get in hot water. One of my businesses was an Italian food manufacturing business for 35 years. And every single day we had the USDA inspector in our plant, which a lot of people didn't like, but I actually loved it because as a little manufacturer, it kept us up to date and up to speed on everything that was going on in that agency, both that had something to do with our business and that didn't, but might be impactful for our lives. I remember being horrified by the chickens being shipped to China, okay, by the USDA. And I don't think I have bought a chicken or eaten a chicken that isn't grown in from the US since. But things like that would happen. I would not probably have even known about that or heard about that until years into the process of them actually doing that before I was able to make a decision about it. So how do we and what do we do when we find ourselves in hot water? Number one, I always stop, analyze, figure out what the situation is, and go immediately into problem solving mode. And I use something called the SOAP framework. What's going on? What's the situation? And then what do I want the situation to be? Whenever I'm faced with a problem, a challenge, a setback, an obstacle, a change that's impacting us, and we need to make a decision in terms of how we're going to handle it and respond to it and deal with it. And that applies to everything in our business. When I think about being in hot water, I think of it as being a bad thing, but if I think about all the problems and challenges that we face as business owners, it's just a frickin' every single day thing, right? There are challenges to everything and things are changing all the time. So we have to have a format and a framework for dealing with those changes and challenges and making it automatic so it doesn't stress us out and freak us out whenever something out of our ordinary routine happens, because it happens pretty much every day. I will admit early on in my business life and business ownership, I'd freak out over stuff. And then I realized that my freaking out over things made the situation far, far worse than if I just had a system and I dealt with it in a rational, systematic, problem-solving, solution-focused way. So love to know your experience with this particular idiom or expression. Have you been in hot water? I've had a couple partners over the course of my lifetime in both corporate America and business, as well as in my personal life, that were super duper bad for me and got me in at least a personal hot water situation where I wasn't feeling happy about the situation that I was in, and had to deal with those situations. So how do you deal with a situation that you find yourself in where you think you're going to be in trouble if you don't deal with it immediately, right away, etc.? Share in the comments below so we can learn from one another. And I will, of course, be tomorrow with another interesting idiom. What does it mean? Where does it come from? And how might you use it to grow and supersize your business? Have a terrific day.